welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. Very interesting video right here because we're set to discuss who's been the best team so far this season. Yes, the season has just started, but I mean, it's good to know who's had, the best start, who has been the best team so far in the 2025-2026 season. There are a couple of teams. Serie A, I think they've only played one game, so we're going to move all the Serie A teams out of it. I know that Napoli won their game and so on, but we'll move Serie A out of it. Bundesliga, basically every team will be moving out of it as well because they've only played one game, apart from Bayern Munich, who are the first team I'm set to discuss, who have been one of the best teams so far to start off this season. Obviously beating Leipzig 6-0, with Harry Kane scoring a hat-trick, Diaz cooking, Olise cooking, even Serge Gnabry cooking. That's how surprising it's been. And they obviously won the German Super Cup versus Stuttgart. Another good sign. So they've played two good sides in Leipzig and Stuttgart. Yes, they're better sides in the world and everything, but they've been quite tested. I mean, Barca played Levante, Madrid played Oviedo, PSG played Angers. Like Bayern have been tested. They have played good teams, and they won both of them convincingly. I don't know about the Super Cup win, but it's a trophy for the season. So I think Bayern Munich have definitely been one of the best performing teams so far in the 2025-2026 season. Moving to La Liga, we should be talking about the three teams, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and FC Barcelona, but we'll only be talking about two teams, or maybe three teams, but not Atletico Madrid, who've had a woeful start, drawing to Espanyol, losing to Espanyol, and then drawing to some garbage La Liga side as well. Horrendous. But the other team, apart from Madrid and Barca, is Villarreal. I think they've won both of their games. With their recent game, they scored like 5 goals, so they've had a cheeky start. I think Villarreal deserves a mention. Then we'll talk about Real Madrid and FC Barcelona. Both obviously won both of their games. Madrid first one wasn't the most convincing, even though they were completely dominant and having control. They just didn't create enough, especially when you look like Osasuna. Madrid should be doing better at the Bernabeu, strong lineup and everything. But Madrid have won both of their games. The second one, definitely more convincing. I did not get to watch the second Madrid game versus Real Oviedo, but they won 3-0. And Kylian Mbappe looks to be, back to his best. Back to his best. The funniest thing about Mbappe is it's been in front of us all this time. I've always said, Mbappe since 21-22 hasn't been the same. He's been a stage worse. People just didn't want to be honest about it. But now that he's back, they have to say it. But Kylian Mbappe looks really good at the moment. Madrid obviously building the team around him, trying to get the best out of Kylian Mbappe. This is what he wanted. This is what I knew would happen from the get-go. We got Vinny and Rodrigo competing for the same spot. Rodrigo having a good game so far when he started the game. Then Vinicius comes on with a point to prove, gets the goal and assist. So tough competition is always great. I've seen a report now, Rodrigo got sad, he wants to leave. We'll see how that situation goes, but competition is always good. And I think Madrid have had a cheeky start to the season under Xabi Alonso. Moving on to FC Barcelona, obviously won their first game 3-0 versus Mallorca. Could have been more. Mallorca had 2 red cards in the first half. Barca got 2 goals early on. Then obviously the second game, which I got to watch, versus Levante. Levante obviously taking a 2-0 lead. And then FC Barcelona dramatically having a remontada with no referee help, as in the original remontada. But FC Barcelona have had a strong start to the season, 6 goals in only 2 La Liga games so far. They, look like last season, a very aggressive side that wants to play in the opposition's pitch, but there's still the gaping hole of playing, suicidal high line with the offside trap and everything. I still have question marks about that and so on. But yeah, Barca looking good. Everyone's there, Yamal, Rafinha, everyone's looking good. So Barca also have had a good start to the season. Moving on to the English Premier League. There's basically only 2 clubs. I thought City would be back this season. Losing to Spurs. I already had question marks about City after the Club World Cup, losing to Al Hilal. But losing to Spurs, first of all, shout out to Paris Saint-Germain. We beat the Spurs super team. We were 2-0 down versus the Spurs super team, just like City. But we're actually a great side. And we got the win. But finishing off City, No, not a good start to the season. Especially with the signings they've made and everything. You just cannot lose at home 2-0 to Spurs. Completely embarrassing. But that goes to Spurs. Obviously, nearly beat Paris Saint-Germain in the UEFA Super Cup. Yes, PSG didn't have, I mean, they barely had like 3 weeks rest. They only had 1 week to train for the game, while Spurs had like 6 preseason games going into that game. So there was some obviously valuable excuses. PSG not performing the best, but Spurs were really good defensively. Offensively, I hate these teams that focus on set pieces. The Arsenal, the Spurs, the Brentfords, the garbage teams. I mean, it's terroristic football. It needs to be removed from football. I don't want to see this abusement of set pieces. This is not what football is made. Set pieces has been part of the sport ever since the sport was, designed. Ever since football has been playing. But nobody has abused set pieces like this, man. It's dog shit. But yeah, Spurs, I think they've had a very good start under Thomas Frank. I think kept 2 clean sheets. I think they only kept like 6 clean sheets in the Premier League last season, where they finished, 17th, 18th? So yeah, Spurs, really good start to the season. As I said, that UEFA Super Cup obviously lost on penalties, but it was still a performance, as I said in my review after that game, like Spurs should be proud of that performance and nearly beating Paris Saint-Germain. Beating Paris Saint-Germain is basically a trophy in itself. Like, yeah, sure, Chelsea got the Club World Cup as well, but the main trophy was beating Paris Saint-Germain. So I think Spurs have had a very good start to the season. Second one to discuss is Liverpool. I did not put a review of the game, but I actually watched the Liverpool game yesterday versus Newcastle. And I actually even wanted to make a video just separately talking about Liverpool. Are they good? Are they? I might even do that. After maybe their third game going to an international break. I might do a deeper video about Liverpool, how good I think they are, because yes, a lot of adaptation has to happen to this Liverpool side. A lot of new players. Kerkez, Frimpong, Wirtz, Ekitike, Szoboszlai playing in a different position. Team playing a bit differently. But this Liverpool team, there are some question marks about this team, especially defensively. 4 goals conceded, in their first 2 Premier League games. They also lost the Community Shield final to Crystal Palace. So even though you look at Liverpool, they sit first in the table, made a great, comeback. Not comeback, nearly bottled it versus Newcastle, and then they got the 3 points. But I don't think Liverpool have been that convincing. Again, it's the start of the season, a lot can change. But I don't think they've been that convincing. Performance-wise, even when they were 2-0 up, when Newcastle had a red card, Newcastle was playing better football. Newcastle had the ball. Newcastle was creating. Newcastle was controlling the game. So Liverpool should do better. They should do better with the signings they've made, with how good they were last season. I expect better, especially for Mohamed Salah. He's basically dropping a stinker to a mid-game in all of his 3 games, sometimes hiding it with a Fugazi assist. But, you gotta be serious. Because I said it before. I think Salah last season, and even Virgil van Dijk, overperformed last season so that they would get their extension at Liverpool. This is a common thing, not just in football, in any sport. When the player wants to negotiate a new contract and everything, he tries to perform as well as possible, because then he has, a stronger position in the negotiation. So question marks about Mohamed Salah as well. He was the main reason Liverpool won the Premier League last season with all the goals and assists that he got, but he got to perform better. Wirtz, Auschwitz, whatever you want to call him, huge question marks. Obviously, a lot of adaptation for him now coming to the Premier League. I also think the main thing when it comes to Wirtz is the pressure. He's playing with immense pressure. When you look at Wirtz, I think you should look at Neymar, who went from FC Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, Neymar, a much better player than Wirtz, but Neymar went for that record. Everyone was talking about Neymar, but he loved that pressure. He wanted that pressure. I don't think Wirtz wants that pressure. When they mentioned the 150 million price tag, Wirtz and so on, Wirtz doesn't like to talk about it. He doesn't. So I don't even think he wants the pressure. He doesn't like it. He's a family man. He doesn't even have an agent. I think his family are his agents. So question marks about Liverpool. Chelsea, they've won, draw, beat West Ham quite convincingly, so they're a bit cheeky. Then you got Arsenal, 6 points so far. Did not enjoy their performance versus United, but I did get to watch some periods of the Arsenal Leeds game, and I was impressed. I think it's statement victory, 5-0, Gyökeres getting a brace. This is what Arsenal need to do. They should be smacking teams. They need to put this out. They need to show we're here to win the league. Especially now with Liverpool question marks, City question marks, Arsenal could actually win the league. Arsenal FC could actually win the league. And yeah, it would be a great thing for Arsenal. And the last club, obviously, that I haven't spoken about is Paris Saint-Germain. And it's funny, actually. You know, we've gone through all of these top clubs, all of the best teams performing so far. Yes, very early on. But one of the teams that get critiqued the most I've seen is Paris Saint-Germain. Oh my God, they've started such a slow start. Oh, the purple patch is over. Oh, this and that. Dembele is not there. We've won our first 3 games of the season. In our league, we haven't conceded a goal. We've won the UEFA Super Cup versus Spurs, who's sitting first in the Premier League, who just beat City. We beat this team with 6 days of training versus a team that had played 6 preseason games. And I mean, in the Angers and Nantes game, yes, we only beat them 1-0, but we were completely dominant, controlling the game. Yes, I expect way higher chance creation against these teams and more goals scored, better clinicality as well. The clinicality, I think we could have gotten maybe a 2-0 in both games if we're a little bit clinical. I'm looking at you, Bradley Barcola. I'm looking at you, Ousmane Dembele, missing that penalty, completely embarrassing. So, the best performing team so far. To answer the question, maybe Bayern. I put Bayern first. Because I mean 6-0. Come on. 6-0 Leipzig. I'm going to put Bayern first. I'm going to put PSG second. I think we've been completely controlled. We won our 3 games. And I think people, you know, just such an agenda against this club. It's irritating. But yeah, I'll put PSG second after Bayern. Finishing off the top 3. Arsenal? Yeah, put Arsenal. You know what? Bayern, PSG, Arsenal have been the best performing teams so far. Because even though I didn't like Arsenal's performance with United, they were still facing United, who performed really well and still managed to get the win. Whilst, you know, other teams, maybe like a Barca, like a Madrid, they haven't faced the toughest teams possible. So yeah, this is my full review out of the teams. Start to the 2025-2026 season, and this is the conclusion I've come to. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Just name the team, all right, and nothing else. Just name who has been the best according to you guys. No bias, no disgustingness, no fugaziness. But the 2025-2026 season is off to a great start, because I believe this will be one of the greatest footballing seasons ever. You know, capped off with the World Cup in the summer. Very excited about this season. Question marks on some teams. Praise for other teams. That's been it from boy PSGINT. Hopefully guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez Paris.